Hi class! Today I'm going to introduce you to MLA. I have a PowerPoint presentation on an MLA overview for you. So without much further ado, let's get started with our presentation. This is MLA Overview by Ms. Surenyan-krech for English 1A. Well, I'd like to start with what is MLA, because a lot of my students ask me, what is MLA? MLA is the Modern Language Association. The Modern Language Association sets the standards for documentation in the humanities. The papers you will be turning in this semester will require that they are MLA formatted. One of the student learning outcomes of this class is to use MLA documentation for all your papers. These slides will cover the resources for MLA documentation. Another question that I get from my students is, why is proper documentation important? Proper documentation is important because by using a common format, your readers will have ease with finding the sources listed from the works cited page as well as the in-text citations. This will give clarity for the readers of your paper to distinguish the sources of reference from your own analysis. The works cited page offers a list of citations, and to avoid plagiarism, documentation is important. Purpose and objectives. The purpose of this presentation is to familiarize you with MLA format and introduce you to the key areas of where you can access information on how to cite your paper. The objectives, what you will be able to do by the end of this presentation, is define MLA format, list resources for using MLA format, and locate MLA directory in the assigned textbook, which is Rules for Writers. Identify additional resources for accessing MLA, such as web and walk-in face-to-face. The three resources that I'm going to cover in this presentation are Rules for Writers, the OWL at Purdue, and the Writing Center. The first resource that we're going to look at is Rules for Writers. So your book, Rules for Writers, the textbook that I assigned for this class, is a handbook, and this handbook has a section on MLA format in your book, and there's also a section on MLA in-text citations and works cited models, as well as a sample research paper. The MLA in-text citation models, the directory is located on page 432. You go to the directory to see where what you're looking for is, and then you go to the page to locate it. For example, if you wanted to name the author in your text, you would look for author named in a single phrase. It's on page 459. You go to page 459 and there's an explanation on how to cite that in your paper, and then there's an example. So here the example you have, according to Lorraine Goodwin, a food historian, 19th century reformers who sought to purify the food supply were called fanatics and radicals by critics who argued that consumers should be free to buy and eat what they want, page 77. So the word fanatics and radicals come from Lorraine Goodwin. They need to be cited. And if you choose to put the author's name in your text, then this is how you would cite it. You also have a directory of works cited models in your handbook. So if you have a book with a single author and you wanted to know how to cite that on your works cited page, you would look on the directory. It says single author, page 469. You go to page 469 and there's an example of how that should look on your works cited page with an explanation above it. Your textbook also includes a sample research paper, and the sample research paper has these side margin notes that tell you how to type it up and what information you need to put in your paper. If you also want to include a picture, the sample paper shows you how to cite that in your paper. In addition to the sample paper afterwards, there's a sample works cited page with the last names of authors listed in alphabetical order, and there's also an explanation of what to do in your book. In addition to your book, there's two websites that you can go to get help for resources for MLA. The first one is the OWL at Purdue. The OWL at Purdue is an online writing lab, and it answers questions about MLA formatting and style guide. If you look at the side of the web page here, you can access a sample paper, a sample works cited page. There's a PowerPoint presentation that you can download onto your own computer, and there are answers to questions about MLA and MLA formatting. In addition to the OWL at Purdue, we have a writing center at PCC located in C345, and you can access the web page via online. So if you go to the web page for the Writing Center, it looks like this. You can make an appointment for a face-to-face tutor. You can also go to our open lab hours and do walk-in tutoring. You can call and ask any questions that you have. You can't call and ask questions about MLA, but you can call and get an appointment. And if you don't have an appointment, then you can go into the open lab hours in the Writing Center. There are 3 places you can access information for MLA formatting: Rules for Writers, the OWL at Purdue, and the Writing Center. You can use all of these resources to help you with your paper. Remember, these resources are here to help you write with clarity. If you have further questions or need more assistance, you can always ask me questions during my office hours, or you can email me. I hope this was a helpful presentation, and I'll see you in the next video.